Gamers. Personally, I've always considered Mortal Empires, the combination of all the maps and races in the Warhammer series, to be the best Warhammer experience. And unfortunately, Mortal Empires will not be available at Warhammer 3's launch. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, you already knew that, but this begs the question, is Warhammer 3 worth buying before the next Mortal Empires? I don't like dragging out my answer, so I'll tell y'all up front. If you really enjoy playing Warhammer with your friends, either co-op, head-to-head, or you're excited for the new multiplayer free-for-all experience, then this game is worth full price. Otherwise, I can only recommend this game on sale. In this video, I'll go over the good, the bad, and the buggy. I'll also speculate on what we can expect later in the series, and I'll try not to repeat too much of what y'all have already heard. Starting with the good, there's a lot to praise about this game. The prologue is fantastic. The new campaign maps look great, and the new units look incredible. The battle maps are the best in the series. The devs at CA did an incredible job bringing the Chaos Realms to life. The sound is great, and the music is pretty solid too. Warhammer 3 also massively improves diplomacy, and now it's actually useful to have allies. But don't expect to seriously rely on allies from the previous games. The devs clearly made the old races weaker than the new ones. I refuse to believe any other explanation for why the Empire is consistently getting dunked on by Ooga Booga Man. I'm also impressed with the new factions and their campaign mechanics. I've only really played as Kislev, Cathay, and Tzeentch, but I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. Some of the campaign mechanics still need some tweaking, like Boris desperately needs his own unique campaign mechanic, but for the most part, I'm satisfied. Cathay's Silk Road mechanic is incredibly enjoyable and rewarding. Land battles are still amazing, and the new minor settlement battles are engaging. There are so many quality of life improvements that I'm probably going to forget a lot of them. To name a few, the level cap has increased to 50, you can fuse 2 items you don't want to get a rarer item, supply lines are seriously reduced, Confederation doesn't punish you anymore, and you can auto-balance your negotiations to save time. As someone who really enjoyed playing multiplayer campaigns in Warhammer 2, I can't get over how much multiplayer campaigns have improved in Warhammer 3. Now you can have up to 8 players in a multiplayer campaign. The simultaneous turns dramatically speed up the pace of the campaign. If someone has to leave a campaign for some reason, they can exit the game without the server crashing, and an AI will continue for them until they can come back. And finally, you can give units to multiple people in a battle, and you can recall them whenever you want to. Okay, now that I'm done gushing, it's time for the buggy. I got early access to this game on February 3rd, and since then, they've released a newer version for launch, but I don't think all of these issues have been resolved yet. One of the Rebel Lords clearly had a bad run-in with MS Paint. Our old friend the pathfinding bug is back. I lost my vision after a battle in the snow, and a lot of units knocking away other units without doing any damage. Personally, I haven't seen anything absolutely game-breaking, and I feel confident most of this will get patched in the next few months. Finally, it's time for the bad. They seriously nerfed the Winds of Magic, and I don't like how they changed it.
Look how they massacred my boy.
I kind of get why they did it, and I can live with it, but I'm not happy about it. Major settlement battles are still pretty disappointing. I completely agree with Mandalore's take on the UI. It's unacceptable for the build and demolish buttons to be the same colors. For the rest of the changes, I get why they did it to keep with the grim theme of Warhammer 3, but I definitely preferred the old UI. I don't see why a bear mount doesn't give someone the siege attacker trait. You're telling me I have to wait a whole turn to kill one guy when I'm on a bear? And meanwhile, everyone in the game is still carrying siege ladders up their... My main complaint centers around the Chaos Realms, the main theme of Warhammer 3. I hate it. I hate it so much. The Chaos Realms are visually appealing for sure, and they affect your army in lore-friendly ways, but the mechanics around them are so infuriating I can't possibly imagine completing the main campaign more than once. To go into more detail, I'm gonna have to dish out some spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, skip to this timestamp. Okay, the plot starts by explaining that every year, Urson, the Kislevite bear god, clears the harsh weather with his roar, but he hasn't been heard from in 7 years. Turns out Be'lakor has trapped Urson in the Forge of Souls, and now you get to play as one of the races in the game trying to get to Urson. The Kislevites want to free Urson, the Chaos factions want Urson to please their gods, and the Ogres, naturally, want to eat Urson. Cathay wants to question Urson about their lost sister, but CA plans to do more with this plot later on. Eventually, during your campaign, Urson will roar, creating rifts to the various Chaos Realms, and you'll have to capture a soul from each of the planes of Chaos to open a portal to the Forge of Souls and fight Be'lakor for Urson. Wait, what's happening? Why is everyone else going into the Chaos Realms? Are y'all just crazy? Didn't I just watch a really well-made cutscene where the advisor specifically talks to my faction, and only my faction, about the Bear God, and how only he can create a portal to the Forge of Souls? How the hell do the rest of these races even know about Ursun's fate anyway? For whatever reason, CA took a great idea and ruined it by turning it into a race. At no point is there even a mention of the advisor saying, "Be wary, my lord, other factions also want Ursun's body for themselves." It's an enormous plot hole for the entire game that destroys any argument of an immersive story-driven experience. The worst part about this race is that only one faction can claim a soul from the realms each time the Chaos portals open. So if you're currently inside the Chaos Realms and another faction claims the soul for that realm, poof, you're kicked back into the mortal realms. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. The consequences for going back empty-handed are exacerbated by how difficult and time-consuming it is to navigate the Chaos Realms. Each realm takes several turns to complete, and then you still have to fight a domination battle. Look, I'm not going to hate on these battles too much because some people like them, but it's way too long. This battle took me over 40 minutes to complete. After 6 turns inside the Realm of Chaos and over 5 hours of my life, I finally took my crab stack through the Realm of Corn and claimed my first soul. And my only reward was a cool cutscene. After beating the domination battle and claiming a soul from the Realm of Chaos, the game once again steals all of your campaign movement and throws you back into the mortal plane. All I had to show for a literal demon soul was a horrible trait on my legendary lord, a battered army, and several crucial turns I spent away from the actual campaign map while my enemies danced around me. It took me an hour to get all that clown makeup off my face. Guys, are you hearing how crazy this is? I just captured a literal demon soul and I got nothing for it. How does that even make sense? Are you telling me I didn't get any public order bonuses for capturing a demon soul? You're telling me the peasants are talking to each other like, "Did you hear that Catherine captured a demon soul the other day? Yeah, well, she's still not gonna get my vote. Hashtag not my Zarina." The game gives you zero positive incentives to go into the Realm of Chaos. It lacks a fraction of the payoff to make the investment feel worthwhile. Now, I know this is the video game equivalent of praising a crappy X, but even the Vortex campaign was more rewarding than this. While I'm on the topic, they need to make the seductions of Slaanesh significantly better. Whenever you go into the Realm of Slaanesh, you have to start on the outer circle and you make your way down. Each time you pass through a portal to a lower floor, the game steals all of your movement, and Slaanesh offers you a temptation in exchange for leaving. Before they patched the game, this buff used to be permanent, and I didn't think that was a bug. Now the devs think it's only worth 5 turns? 5 turns? It took me 5 turns just to get to this ring of the circle. Ooh, I would never go for that offer in a million years. Lastly, the only payoff for completing all the quest missions is Be'lakor, and he's pretty underwhelming, and definitely not worth the insane investment to get to this point. Thankfully, it wouldn't be too hard to make the Chaos Realms more bearable. CA can make the Chaos Realms more enjoyable by A, not making it a race, B, stop stealing our campaign movement every time we go through a portal, C, make the Chaos Souls more rewarding, preferably with permanent buffs to faction-wide upkeep, so we can afford stronger units to take on the stronger demon armies that appear as you progress through the storyline. And D, making Be'lakor more rewarding by giving him a powerful trait and giving him skills that buff the entire faction, kind of like Grumbrindle. CA would only have to implement one of these options for me to tolerate the main storyline. Right now, I never want to go into the Chaos Realms ever again. I might be an outlier, so after y'all get your hands on the game, I'm curious to hear in the comments what y'all think about the main storyline. My final complaint with the game is that the faction rosters are noticeably small, and this is a good segue to the final part of this video, my speculations for the future of Warhammer 3, because judging from the size of the faction roster so far, CA have a lot of DLC planned for Warhammer 3. I'm still expecting the Chaos Dwarfs to appear as another DLC race, but I have no idea when or if we can expect that in the series. What we can expect is a lot of DLC for Cathay and at least one DLC lord for Kislev in the near future. I fully expect Cathay to become the next Skaven, but we'll see how things play out. I'll leave y'all with the canonical reason for Be'lakor's banishment.
Gods of Chaos, have I not fed you?
Ligma.